Yeah, good day everybody. Welcome back. Righty-ho, we're going to press on with next stage of this new project. Um, Before we get ready to get drawing, just have a look at the screen and I'm going to be a bit more methodical about things. So on the left-hand side here, I've just got just some notes. Half of them are for me anyway, just to reference, remind me what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, but these are the next sort of few sets that I want to do, and talk you through it. So this video in particular is just really just going to be on scope of delivery. So I'm just bolding that to say that's where we are. Okay. So I'm just going to explain to you not just a little bit about why I do these, why I'm doing these videos and things like that. Okay. So a little bit of background is that I am a registered building designer with the state of Victoria in Australia. Okay, so that means I've done the advanced diploma in building design and in brackets architectural, and then I've registered with the Victorian Building Authority so that I can do plans and all of that sort of stuff. So I have my own business, and that's what I do as well. I also teach at Victoria University in their TAFE section, okay, which is basically trades and practical skills. So it's not university. So these videos are for everybody, but I'm also writing them or making them based on what I know within the state of Victoria. So I'm just going to give a bit of scope as to where this information is coming from, because with this particular project, I'm not going to be drawing up random stuff. Okay, I'm actually going to be drawing something that if this site was real and someone wanted me to design a basic house, then I'll show you the steps of how I do it. So we're not just doing Revit anymore. We are now doing building design and architectural design. Okay, and compliance is a huge part of that. So first things first, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a hint as to where we're dealing with. So I'm just going to bring up Australia. Okay, now Australia is a very, very big country, okay, with a little population. As you can see, it's just about all desert. All the towns, most of the big centres are all scattered around the sea. Now, this is Australia. If I zoom in a little bit, this is Victoria, okay? So out of all of Australia, that is the only place I'm currently registered to do design work in, okay? Just that little bit there, okay? And within that, okay, I operate out of Melbourne, okay, in this area. And if I zoom in a little bit further, okay, I live around here, and my work is generally around this area here, sort of the west parts of Melbourne, to say the very least. Do a little bit of work out this way, where the majority of the population are, but this is my zone. Okay, so that's the context of where I do my delivery and with regards to legislation and things like that. Now, Australia, like the United States of America, has basically two levels of parliament. Okay, we have a federal level, okay, which is based in here in Canberra, okay, and they write laws, etc., that the Commonwealth work with. Within each state, Victoria, New South Wales, etc., they have their own laws, okay, and regulations. So, and this is no different when it comes to building and construction. Okay, so within the state of Victoria, we have something called the building regulations. Okay, so I'm just going to bring them up now. Now, these regulations are freely available. They're available on the government website, so you can download them and look at them, etc. But basically, these regulations outline how buildings, the construction industry should be basically managed, for lack of a better phrase, within just our state. Okay, so and if I have a quick look through here, okay, there's lots of divisions and things like that. There's talks about the Building Code of Australia, which is a national code. Okay, but throughout here, there's all sorts of stuff. There's talks about owner builders. It talks about certificates of consent, building permits. You can't build anything without a permit. So this tells you all of those sorts of things. How do you apply for them? How do you do report consent, etc.? The duties of the building surveyor. Building surveyors, they're the people that once we've done our drawings and we've got all the documentation together, the building surveyor is the one that issues the building permit and does the inspections of the actual construction. Okay. Now if I scroll down a little bit further, there's a fair amount to look at. Division 6, blah, 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 blah. Part 5, siting. This is where us as building designers, architects and designers, this is where we do our work. Okay, so all of that stuff above, that's all the legal mumbo jumbo. But when it comes to siting, this is, like I said, this is where we go. So I'm just going to take you very quickly through it. So part 5 talks about existing and single buildings. It talks about setbacks, building height, coverage, permeability, car parking, side and rear setbacks, walls and carports on boundaries, really critical stuff. Daylight to existing habitable windows, solar access, overshadowing, overlooking, daylight to habitable room windows, okay, and private open space. A little bit further down, it talks about class 10A and 10B buildings and structures. Okay, so these are things like your garages and fences and pools and all that sort of stuff. Okay, there are some things about what we can, projections past street alignment. I'm not going to worry too much about that sort of thing. But part 5, if I scroll back up a little bit, part 5 siting, this is where we're going to be doing, where I'm going to be doing a lot of the work from. Okay, so I'm not going to be doing any more drawing in this particular video, but I'm going to take you back to our plan. So that's where we're going with this one. So it's a scope of delivery. So I really need to add in there probably, I'm just going in here, terrible spelling, /typing, okay, client brief. Okay, so in the next video, what we'll do is we'll talk about client brief. Okay, so my sort of apologies for this, even though it sort of says Revit, it's not super Revit, but it will be. But I no longer, like I said before, I just don't want to give you random stuff anymore. I want to give material that you can take away. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, but you can take away and go, right, so if I want to be a building designer, or if I'm learning, or if I'm a graduate, things like that, these are the sort of processes and steps that we take in order to get a design together, rather than just chucking stuff down and hoping for the best, because that's just not really how we do it. Okay, so like I said, we'll pause it there. I'll upload this, then I'll do another video, might get a chance today, about the client brief, and we'll go from there. So we'll see you later.